Well, howdy, folks. I'm Beeman, and today I'm continuing my art venture with just some crappy doodles. Let's do some crappy doodles. Today I want to do let's do some leaves. Then, I don't know, few weeks back in middle of October, I spent like a week raking up leaves for my garden, and I saw a lot of crazy leaves. Pretty much all maple leaves, but there's maple and oak. But there's a couple of different kinds of each, and I'd be interested to see if I can figure out how to draw them and make them look at least somewhat decent without a reference. Let's see. Oh yeah, since the last time I tried to draw a leaf, it turned out so bad. I actually thought of a method of doing it where take the stem. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but I'm hoping it does. You take the stem and draw like the vein that goes down the middle of it, right? And then for maple leaves, they get a couple of veins that go off to the side. And they also get a couple that kind of go up, I think. And then there we go. Make these a little bit longer, I guess. Okay, let's try to fix that a little bit. Kind of goes down, and it meets this one at a point. And then this kind of goes in, meets this at a point. And that's kind of, it's not quite right, but there are a bunch of these that are kind of tall and very simple. They don't have a whole lot of spiky doos. And similarly, let's try to do another one over here next to it. There's some that kind of go wide. Let's see if we can make that one look okay. Uh, you know what? This might be too tall. So let's bring that in a little bit. Okay, that looks a little round, but that's kind of how they look. Let's make that more of a point, whatever. So there's tall, skinny ones that are real simple that pop up in my yard, and then there's also kind of wide ones. This isn't quite right. I feel like, well, if I had one to look at, I could do it better. But so let's say this one's wrong. We'll try that again. Let's see what we come up with. Uh, Maybe it's just 3. Maybe that's the ticket. I don't know. Yeah, kinda. That's kind of what they're like. That's a little more right, but still a little bit off. Hmm. Well, whatever. All right, moving on, moving on. There's also the spiky dews for maple leaves that get more space between the, I don't know what you call them, fingers, kind of. So let's try. So let's see if we can do one of them. Stem. And again, these come in kind of tall and stout versions based on the tree they come off of, I guess. So these have similar stuff coming off the sides here. And the interesting thing about these maple leaves is that they get a lot of these spikies. Kind of like, there we go. Why do I keep doing that with the curve? It's a little junkadoo, but that's okay. There we go. That's kind of right. I feel like I should have more spiky doos going down the side, but you know what? That's okay. That's whatever. So I get some of these. And then there's another one that's kind of, let's try to do this, kind of wide again. Let's see. I feel like I messed this one up, but that's okay. That's okay. We're trying to figure it out. You ain't gotta be perfect, especially when you're learning. You know what? Let's just kind of scrap this one. And let's move on to the oak leaves, because I get a lot of those too. So let's see here. These, I feel like this is also kind of wonkadoo. Let's see, these also get veins up the sides, but they're more like, kind of like this, I think, if I'm remembering that right. So let's see if we can. Kind of like that. Okay, these are a little too chunkadoo, but that's all right. So I get some of these oak leaves with this kind of long finger action. Then I also get ones that are kind of like a lot wider, and the fingers aren't, they're shorter and stubbier, which is hard to explain, so I'll just try to draw it. Let's see. Kind of like this. And I don't think I've ever really noticed these until I started finding them in my yard this year. But it's kind of weird. I can't remember how the veins go on these ones, so I'm just going to do it like this. I feel like that's not right. But that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. And then what else do we have for leaves? Well, you know, at one time, a couple of years ago, I saw a leaf like this. Let's see. It was kind of like, actually, this was more of like a, let's see here. Kind of like that, except it was a big old leaf. I think I looked it up and it was like a sassafras leaf or something. That was several years ago, so I'm not really remembering that very well. So let's just ignore that one. So let's see, I get two more kind of leaves that drop everywhere in my yard. I don't know the name of the tree that they come off of, because I just don't know that much about trees, to be honest. but I get these kind of ovally ones like this. Just get a big old vein down the middle, and then they just kind of go. I'm pretty sure we get more. Let's see. And then I also get similar to this, but again, more stout. I get leaves that kind of do kind of this situation. For the vein, kind of goes up the middle. And I'm pretty sure these ones get the same. They're just kind of everywhere, these veins. I don't even know if that's what you call this part of the leaf. But they're basically like veins. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But the interesting thing about these ones is they're kind of spiky all the way down. And then they come to a really sharp kind of point. So let's see. What's another kind of leaf that drops around here? That's kind of it. I mean, for the bulk of it is the maple leaves where I live. And a lot of these oak leaves. Oh, you know what? I have seen, they're not very common, but it's kind of like a cross between a maple leaf and an oak leaf, where it's got this kind of one of these situations going, much like the regular oak leaf, except each thing, instead of being round, kind of comes to a point. And I don't think I've ever seen those before until recently. There we go. Kind of like that. See, instead of being all round and smooth and nice, they're all sharp and pointy. I don't really know. I don't think I've seen those on a tree, but they just kind of blow across in the breeze, and they land in my yard sometimes. But do I feel like I improved my skill at drawing leaves at all? Kinda. I kind of like the vein method. This kind of turned out okay. This one kind of turned out not quite right. Maybe next time I'll try to get some, like a reference picture of some leaves. Maybe that'll make it easier. But at the very least, it's some practice, you know? And that's what it's all about. You got to spend some time doing it, even if you're not great. Just get out there and do it, I guess. And I guess that's it for now, so see ya.